We got to start off 2023 with some air horn. Welcome to 2023, my good party people here in the Tech Tribe land. Welcome all of you who are joining me live today. No doozy IT. Vince is over in Bluebell, PA. Quest Internet is tuning in from Chicago. Firewell Technology Solutions is in California, right smack in the middle. Hopefully you guys aren't getting hit with the
bomb cyclone
we got hit with a few weeks ago. It's crazy weather. Literally like 10 seconds before we came on air, like my whole studio lit up. Like we got a thunderstorm in January here in the Midwest. I am in Ohio, here in the U.S., so if you're watching live, tell everybody where you're tuning in from. You could probably hear some thunder. So you might get some thunder. We might get a little thunderstruck in this episode. So, yeah, just crazy weather here in the States. It's just insane. 2 weeks ago, beginning of the week, it was minus below zero, everything frozen. By the end of the week, it was 70 degrees and I had my air conditioner on. Go figure. It's just absolutely insane. Nerd support coming in from Miami, Florida. Mark Saliba tuning in from Houston. And Computer Corner from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Thank you guys for tuning in live. It is noon here, Eastern Time. Josh Groff is from Lancaster, PA. So awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see this rolling in. Daniel Ramos from the great state of confusion, which is New Jersey. Crusoe.tech is in Central Texas. It's 50 degrees. Believe it or not, it is 50 degrees here in the state of Ohio. And like I said, we have a thunderstorm going on outside right now that's been rolling through here for the last hour. So go figure. We've got spring weather in January. So maybe that means that it's going to warm up faster than usual. So I'm going to flip over to see how many we've got tuning in. We've got 22 watching now. And if you're just tuning in, I need you to do me a favor since you're over on the YouTube channel. Help out Nigel and the Tech Tribe YouTube channel. Go ahead and smash the like button right there on this video. We've got 5 likes so far. I've got 24 people now watching. So go ahead and click that like button. Also, by the way, if you're there, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Right now, we're sitting on 781 subscribers. I'm doing my best to get Nigel and the Tech Tribe YouTube channel to 1,000 in this quarter. So there's 3,000 of you Tech Tribe members, so I know we can do it. So like I said, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe while you're over there. That way we can help a brother out. And that way you guys will also get the notifications for future Growably calls and some other training that we have coming up this year, because Nigel will be back from vacation here shortly, and we are going to get lit in 23. It is going to be a whole lot of fun. Ryan Hilton tuning in from Springfield, Missouri. It is snowing where he's at. Max Freeman is from the UK, and Jennifer Picote, hopefully Jennifer. Just tell me whether I got that right. Dripping Springs, Texas. And Dominique is from New Hampshire. Yes, yeah. I lived in Maine for 8 years. Miss New England. We were just back up there for the first time in 20 years since we left. Drove up through Maine and all the way to my brother's house, which is in the Allagash in northern Maine. So it is literally drive to the Canadian border, hang a left, 30 miles in the middle of nowhere. His backyard is the St. Johns River that borders Canada. So let me know if you've got any snow up there, Dominique. I know quite a few people are looking for some snow around here. There is none. Just, again, crazy weather. So, all right, so let's get tuning in and let me know whether or not this is your first Growably call. I know Jeff Bolden is joining us, and my man Jeff Bolden has rocked every single one of these Growably calls live. And I thank you for that support. I thank you for those who are tuning in live. But if you happen to catch this on a replay, that's cool too. We love you too. But I want to make sure we give a shout out to those folks who are just tuning in for the first time. Samuel it is raining where he's at in Connecticut. Dominique said, yes, this is her first time. No Doozy IT. Love that name, by the way. All right. Jennifer says it's Peacoat. Peacoat? Peacoat. You'll have to correct me when we meet in real life sometime. So, Quest Internet said this is his first time here. Daniel Ramos, my first Growably call. Jeff said, no problem, my orange brother. You always got to rock out and support us. So we appreciate it. Okay, so those of you who are new inside and this is your first call, let me also know whether or not you've gotten started with Growably, whether or not you've gotten signed up, how far along you are, just so that I can kind of show you, point you in the direction, those of you who are new, so that I can help you find the training and point out how you get tech support if you've got an issue in the software. So Max Freeman said this is his first time. Powell said this first time for him. Firewell said this is the first coming out of beta, first YouTube call. Yeah, we're going to be all things YouTube this year. We're ditching the Zoom. I had to wrestle Nigel to ditch the Zoom. This is more fun. I think it's more fun. The quality's better. I can put up comments on the screen because who doesn't like getting our comments up on the screen? Firewell says currently using Growably to post social media channels. So a few of you have gotten started, and that's awesome. So like I said, what we want to do on this call is if you have questions, go ahead and type in the letter Q and colon, and then type your question. I'm going to go ahead and flag those. If I can answer them quickly during this training, I will, but we do have some designated time at the end for Q&A as well. So don't worry about that. So if you think of your question, go ahead and post it in there. I'm going to keep an eye on that and flag those questions to be able to come back because I want to make sure that I answer everybody's questions. That's the whole point of this. And we're also going to be doing some training at the end during the Q&A. So based upon a question that was asked inside the tribe. Daniel said, yep, he signed up, have not had a chance to start yet. Looking forward to changing our website. So it's a great start. The website builder is awesome. Dominique said, I've been in here for a while. Love the company feature just came out. Yeah, and I've got another update on that company feature. Working on building campaigns and finessing the oil wheel. That's all it's about, is creating systems. Computer Corner in Albuquerque is setting up Mailgun, planning to send test email next week. Watching training on creating our website. So awesome. Okay, so Powell, I'm going to go ahead and flag your question. So yeah, like I said, just put the letter Q and colon, and feel free to ask your questions as we go about, and I'll try to make sure we go back and answer these during our designated Q&A. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and flip over and just go through our agenda. Those of you who've been on these calls before or maybe watched a replay kind of know what the lay of the land is for these calls. But those of you who are new, I want to make sure that we tell you how these calls run. We've tried to stick with the same agenda since we started, and I think we started like June or July last year. So first of all, we start off on the latest news from High Level. And if you're not familiar, Growably is built on High Level CRM. So when they update their software, obviously that trickles down and we're able to get those updates inside of Growably. So we covered the latest news from High Level since last month's call. And there's actually 5 updates that are pertinent to what we're doing over here. Then we're going to talk about the LinkedIn challenge. So if you're not familiar with that, we're going to make sure that you're well aware of that challenge that's going on. The first time we run a challenge inside the tribe, we're going to do a couple member shout outs for some folks who are being super helpful and go-givers. And then, like I said, we round up with Q&A time where we have designated question and answer time. So, like I said, if you think of questions as we go through here, please put those in the comments with the letter Q. I'll flag those and make sure we get those answered. So, who's ready to go? Give me a thumbs up in the chat and let me know. I'm going to take a quick drink while we do that. While again, just some lightning sparking up here. There's some thunder. So you're going to... I should have downloaded Thunderstruck from AC/DC and just played that little clip here. Yeah, I love that tune. All right, Dominique says she's ready to go. Who else is ready to go? Let's go ahead and talk about some of the Growably features that have popped out since last month. I'm going to go right through. First off, I'm going to flip screens here so that those of you who are new, I'm going to go full screen. That way you can see it. This is your Growably dashboard. But if you're just getting started with Growably, I'm going to show you a couple things that are pertinent to you. So if you want the Growably training, there are a bunch of videos on how to use Growably. So go ahead and again, Growably training is inside your dashboard, and there's all of your getting started videos as to how to use all the different functions inside of Growably. So that's how to do all of the training. If you have questions that you want to ask fellow tribe members, that is the Growably Talk, which will take you to the tribal forum designated specifically for Growably stuff. But if you have a technical support, if there's a problem with the software or something's not working the way that it should, if you come up here to the little question mark icon, there is also a FAQ, so there's more help that you can get. If you need to log a ticket, there's two ways of doing that. You can either hit contact us and go ahead and fill out this form, or if you come down here in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a little online chat support widget. So those are your two ways of getting support if something's broken or not working inside of High Level or Growably. So I'll cover that. Make sure we cover that before we get into the new features. So lots of folks ready to go. Let's see here. Samuel wanted to know what software I use to put comments on the screen. Let me put that back up there so you can see it. I use Ecamm Live. If you want to check out Ecamm Live, it is Mac only. So I know there's PC folks. I think OBS has some similar solution, but yeah, I use Ecamm for all of these broadcasts to be able to send it out to YouTube. So Dwayne said he's ready. Daniel said he's ready. Firewell. Yeah, Dominique's ready. And Max is ready. All right, let's rock it. Okay, so now I'm going to go into some of the features. So the very first one is the recurring calendar appointments. That was in beta test last month. And again, I'm going to go full screen so you can see everything. To enable the recurring calendar feature, come down into settings. And one of the things the High Level does whenever they roll out new features, and you come down here to labs, you want to make sure that you have those things turned on so you can go ahead and test them out. So calendar settings consolidation, that was one of the features. So turn that on. Recurring appointments, go ahead and slide that on. And then, yes, two-way calendar sync is finally here. That is one of the updates. So two-way calendar sync to Outlook. Office 365 is here. So that was one of the 5 updates from last month. So you want to make sure you turn those on. I'm going to go back in here to calendars so that I can show you what that recurring looks like. So if I come in here to calendar settings, and we come in here to edit, and again, you can have as many calendars as you want. If you're using a calendar solution right now, put that in the comments which one you're using, whether it's Calendly, Appointment Core, there's a bunch of others. But if you're using a calendar solution right now, put that in the comments to let me know which one you're using. Because I was able to replace Calendly with the built-in high-level calendar, which I absolutely love. And now that they have synchronization to Office 365 calendar and email, I'm super, super excited. So if you click on the availability, this is where you'll see the option to have recurring appointments finally here inside of the calendar. So that is update number 1. And under the confirmation tab, update number 2 is the ability to configure who receives the acknowledgement emails for those appointments. Obviously, you would want the contact, but if I click on emails, I can also put in other email addresses that may need to get alerted if there is an appointment booked. Like you have a support calendar, that would be a great way to have other people alerted that somebody booked an appointment on that calendar. So that is recurring calendar updates, calendar notification. So see lots of folks who are using bookings was the other one. I couldn't think of the Microsoft one. So Crusoe Tech's using bookings, Appointment Core for Dominique. Firewell is using bookings. Brian is using Acuity. No Doozy IT is using Growably. So nice job. Using Microsoft for Samuel. And I'll go ahead and answer Daniel's question here. He had a question, does the calendar support Google Calendars? Yes. It has really been, that's where they started, is with Google Calendars, but we've been pushing and voting because most of our folks we sell Office 365 to, so that is now available as well. Quest Internet uses Wix Calendar. I hadn't heard of that one, but that's cool. Jeff, obviously my man, using Growably. But yeah, you can eliminate other calendaring solutions and have everything baked into high level / Growably. So just keep that in mind. You might be able to save a few bucks. So, okay, so I talked about that, and who was it? Dominique, I think you had mentioned about the company pages. There was an update to company settings as well. I'm going to go in here and show you. So again, if I want to go back so you can see it. So if I go back to the main dashboard, go down here to settings. And one of the things they enabled, those of us I came across from Infusionsoft or Keep. If you're using a CRM right now and maybe moving over to Growably, put that in the comments which one you're using too. Just so, again, I can give you points of reference to what people are used to. I was used to Infusionsoft, which had a company record, and then I can associate all of the contacts for that company, just like we do in our PSA solutions. That way you have a company record and all the contacts attached to it. So one of the things that they have enabled down here clear at the bottom is when I click on companies, they've had the company record available for a while, but one of the pains in the butt was if you've already imported all of your contacts, is associating all of those people with a company record. So now they've automated that function. So you're going to be super happy for this, Dominique. So yeah, she's coming from Keep as well, trying to rebuild in Growably. This is going to speed things up for you, Dominique. So if you check this little box here, and again, you can read more. I think I've flagged that up. You can read more about what they're doing with the company object automation. One of the things I was super happy about is if they ignores case sensitivity. So if you've got somebody that's from Burger King, all caps, and you've got the record in there as lowercase, it will actually associate them with the Burger King instead of two. So anyway, so they helped speed up the process of associating all of those contacts we may have already imported with the company field. So you just check that little box right there and then just go through the little prompts, and it will go ahead and do some matchmaking automatically for you inside of high level. So that was one that I was super happy about because that was a pain in the butt. I'm like, I don't want to, I've got, thousands of people in there. I'm like, how am I going to go back and recreate all of that all from scratch? So yeah, it was a pain in the butt. So let's see if Philip Jose is just joining us from Space Track. So welcome. Dominique, I thought you would appreciate that. I was planning to put a day aside to recreate all of those. So yes, all you have to do is check that button, go through the prompts, and it will go ahead and do that for you. So thank goodness. So I was happy that came out. Let's see here. That was update number 3 out of 4. I talked about the two-way Outlook sync. That was just released on Friday last week. So again, same thing, come into settings and then come down here to your profile. And again, you want to make sure that you've gone into labs and enabled this. Otherwise, you won't see the box inside of your profile. So now if I scroll here down to the bottom, obviously you can connect your Outlook calendar and Zoom, but this one showed up. Yay. Outlook calendar, two-way sync. Finally. So you just check that little button right there, hit connect, and it will go ahead and prompt you to authorize lead connector inside your Microsoft Office 365 tenant. And then it will go ahead and connect your personal email to Growably. So that way you get those two-way email syncs, because that's kind of been a little bit of a pain over the last few months. I want to see the emails, and when people reply back, I want to be able to see those inside of Growably. So that was, again, great pain in the butt feature that they added, which was finally here. And I do believe next week, if you're on, I think Daniel, you'd asked me about Gmail. They're doing two-way sync for Gmail, and I think that's due to launch next week. They're just waiting on something from Google to actually go ahead and through and approve that. So No Doozy IT said, yes, that's awesome. Firewell said, just did that and got an error. Again, if you're getting an error message, go ahead and hit that little question mark icon, Firewell, because that's probably some type of support issue with high level. So go ahead and create that if you get an error message. Yeah, because that way you can kind of go through the high level support and they can get that squared up and squared away for you. But yeah, I was super happy about that coming out. Update number 5. So Brian said he's getting an error as well. So yeah, that may be an issue. They might be working through some bugs on that. But they did release it on Friday. And what is this? Thursday? So it's been less than a week. Yeah, so again, if you're getting that error message, go in. Again, I'm going to go full screen so you can see it. Go up here to the little question mark icon and go ahead and put in a tech support ticket. Like I said, you can jump on chat. They might be able to help you faster, or just hit contact us and put in a support ticket as well. Looks like Jeff's getting it as well. So they must have some type of bug that they're working through, perhaps with Microsoft. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't connected mine yet just because I've been running separate emails. But yeah, if multiple people are getting that, let me know as well. That way I can alert Nigel and Javier that we've got a bug alert on our side so that we can answer questions if this comes up after the replays. But yeah, that's good. Thanks for letting me know, guys and gals, that there's a bug in that one. Let's see here. The last one is under forms. So again, I'm going to go back here. And if you're not aware, you can create all of your forms inside of Growably. So if I come down here into sites, and then I come in here to forms, one of the things that they have enabled this week is the ability to have pop-up forms. So yeah, Firewall says, looks like they're having trouble parsing phone numbers. And Powell said, mine works fine, just got it connected. So it's a crapshoot, I guess. You guys know how the tech support goes. You guys know, we all know it. It works or it doesn't. And there's no rhyme or reason to stuff sometimes. So anyway, pop-up forms. So if I come in here to, let's say, this first pop-up form that I have, and down here on the bottom, there is now an integrate form button. So if I click on that, I now have the ability to have pop-up forms show up on my Growably pages or even your WordPress pages. So, because you can do the embed code here and embed it in your current WordPress site if you haven't moved over. So that was really cool. So you can put it where you want. You can have a sticky sidebar down the bottom right. You can have a pop-up straight in the middle, or just an inline form embedded in a page. And they also give you the ability to input when these pop-ups are triggered. And again, if they scroll through a certain percentage of the page, or after so many seconds on that page, it will give them the pop-up, or you can turn it to always show. Activation options, you can actually activate that maybe on the second visit, then maybe have that pop-up, activate itself. And then it also has deactivation options where you can have it go away after so many times showing it. So obviously, I don't need to show that for everybody if they just skip it, people coming back to my site. And then again, you can have the straight link if you want to have a standalone inline form to be able to put somewhere, or perhaps in an email. So that was a pretty cool feature there that they just released as well. So that takes care of the 5 Growably features. So yeah, Dominique's happy about that one. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature. I'm used to having pop-ups on my WordPress site for forms. So I was happy they finally initiated that. And now we get to play nice with the rest of my WordPress site. All right, so that will cover the latest news from Growably. I'm going to take a drink and put in the comments whether or not you've heard of the LinkedIn Challenge or that you've entered the LinkedIn Challenge. I'm curious to see. I'm going to pop over here too, because I think I tallied up before we went on air here. Let me see what we're up to total wise. I think we were at 160 some last time that I tallied these up this morning. Not 160, 60 some. We got, actually 59. So we are at 59 participants in the Growably challenge. So yeah, if you're not familiar with that, I'll pop that up there. So let's see here. Firewell says, where do we go for the new form builder you just covered? Not a problem, my friend. Let's just pop back in there so I can show you. So if I go into sites, so you click on sites, and then under forms, you have the form builder, and then you can create new forms. So you can have a bunch of forms. Again, you can create multiple forms for every campaign. It's pretty darn cool. So yeah, so that was it. Hopefully that answers that question. All right. So let's see here. Let's talk LinkedIn challenge. Let's see who's heard of that. Dominique has not heard of that, so that's good. So we'll do some education this morning. Powell said not yet. Brian hasn't heard of it, and No Doozy IT has not heard of it. Powell says love LinkedIn, would love to contribute. Yeah, you will have fun with this. What's the LinkedIn challenge? So, yep, Quest Internet hasn't heard of it as well. So good. I'm glad I popped this up, and we're going to cover this now, what the LinkedIn challenge is. This was launched last Monday. So you may have seen a post. As you can see, this is a 90-day LinkedIn challenge experiment that we started inside the Tech Tribe. So as you can see here, we're running an experiment to see who can make the most connections during this 90-day period. And again, this is not about prizes, but we thought we would incentivize the folks to be able to win something cool while at the same time growing your business. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this into the YouTube chat, and you can click right on this link, and it's going to take you straight to the page I'm going to show you right now. So let's go back over here to this screen. So the LinkedIn challenge, we did a big announcement last week. For those of you may have missed that, Cam said he's currently doing the LinkedIn growth map, which I'm going to get to in a second. Mark said he is starting soon. So just to let you know what the LinkedIn challenge is. And again, I put the link in the comments, so you can go ahead and click on that. It takes you straight to this page and tells you exactly what the LinkedIn challenge is, and what the purpose of the challenge is, and how to enter your name and jump in the race for some sweet prizes, which is a DJI drone, a Insta360 camera, and a Logitech MX keys or MX mouse. So that's first, second, and third place for those. Okay, so the whole purpose of this, again, is not prizes. This is to help you grow your network and build business. So if you're wondering how to use LinkedIn, down in here too, I give you the link to the LinkedIn Growth Map training, which is free training that you have as part of your Tech Tribe membership. This is my secret sauce that has created $10 million in MRR for myself and my clients. This is the exact formula that we use and have been using for a decade. So yes, I would recommend going through here first so that you have an idea, but you can still enter. The cutoff date is the 15th, which is in 3 days. So all you have to do is take a screenshot of your LinkedIn profile and with the number of connections that you currently have. So that's how you can be entered into the challenge. And then, like I said, go back through, and I recommend, I have a 4-hour course is what we originally launched a few years ago. We've condensed that down into, I think it's 82 minutes runtime total for this course here. But this walks you through how to get started, how to use LinkedIn, and all of the things that you can be strategic with making connections. And ultimately, this is about leading to sales, starting conversations with people in an effort to lead to sales. So I definitely recommend you go through that, but don't let that stop you from making connections. I'm going to point out one thing to you in step number 1. When you go in here and take the first module, don't forget the workbook. There is a workbook down here. And the reason being is it's going to help walk you through all of the LinkedIn training, but it's also going to have all of the scripts to use to make these connections on LinkedIn. I give you all of the scripts to use. I think, see here, Sean Inman was on last night in the training. He jumped in the challenge last Monday and already has 37 connections. So keep that in mind. So yeah, thank you, Cam. Yeah, it is mentioned in the link. The only reason I bring it up, I had a couple people that missed it. They missed the workbook. Somebody posted the other day, was looking for the scripts to use. So those are all in the workbook. Yep. Powell just sent me a connection. Yeah. So yeah, send me a connection request. I'll connect with everybody here. Absolutely, for sure. So yes, don't forget the workbook. But yeah, take some time to do that. You will thank me. I promise you. But again, this isn't about prizes. This is about helping you win business. But again, we were going to run this experiment. Our goal was to see how much of an improvement we can help you make with your business so that you can get leads. The whole point is to getting leads so that you are able to close business. But in order to do that, you have to start with conversations. We've got to get connected with people so that they actually know who you are in the first place. That is the number one challenge with marketing. This format will help you do that. It will go a long way with building the know who you are, they like who you are, and they trust you. That all comes from just being on LinkedIn and using this formula. This is a roadmap not just for connections. This is how to long-term use LinkedIn. And again, I still use this exact same formula myself. Over 16,000 connections on LinkedIn, all organic. So keep that in mind. That is the announcement. Again, you have till January 15th, which is Sunday, to enter into. And again, all you have to do is go to LinkedIn, take a screenshot that shows the number of connections that you have right now. And we're going to have you take a screenshot at the end of March to see how far you've come. And we're going to announce the winners on the April Growably call. So let's see here. Let me make sure we haven't missed any questions. So, but yes, definitely recommend opt in for that. Jump in the challenge. And if you have questions on how to use anything, tag me in that post. I'm happy to help anybody. That's what it is all about. So, yep, Dominique, yes, so take the growth map training first, for sure. Let's see here. Brian, let's see if I can answer his question real quick. Is there a video about emailing people to opt in for emails? I saw one about how to create the page, but how are you using it in production? I believe we covered that in, I want to say it was August or September Growably call. But in November one, if you go to the November one, it also shows you how to use the marketing packs, which you guys have access to. Those are put inside of Growably for you every month, but it will go ahead and walk through how to create and use those in a ongoing drip campaign. So the email templates that you get, I've got folks already using the social media. Yes, so that will cover LinkedIn challenge. Let's go back over here to slides and any questions on the LinkedIn challenge before I move on. Everybody good? Let me know if how many of you are actually going to jump in and do this too. Because like I said, I think we're at 62 now. So yeah, who's in? Yeah, Dominique says, I can't use the dynamic website packs. Our web host service has to vet all the integrations. Yeah, but I'll show you too, Dominique, you can use the email templates if you use Growably too. So, yeah, Brian said he's in. Dominique's in. No Doozy IT. I just love saying that. It's just a cool name. He's planning on doing that. Quest Internet, Computer Corner, he signed up. Brian said he's joining. Dwayne, welcome. Yeah, again, still thunder in here. Yeah, Jeff said he's going to try. You got to jump in there, man. And Simon says, yep, he'll be doing it. Awesome. So, good. Like I said, this was an experiment. If this goes well, we're going to add to this. We're going to be doing, our goal is to take the training that you guys have access to, help you implement it, give you an incentive to use it. But most importantly, this is about closing managed services deals. But this is where it starts, is with these conversations that you can start on LinkedIn. And like I said, I can't tell you how well this system works. By far, I'm running my MSP, my last MSP, for 10 straight years. Out of all the marketing that I did, and I wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars trying marketing tactics, LinkedIn by far was the number one marketing strategy that I used and closed the most business consistently. Just to give you, for instance, I still get leads for IT support from people that I've met through LinkedIn. And I've been out of IT support for 8 years now. So the relationships that I started a decade ago are still reaping rewards. Well, somebody else is reaping those paychecks because I funnel those leads off to great folks like you. But anyway, so that's an illustration of how well the system works. And I promise you won't regret it. Let's see here. Let's go to member shout-outs. I'm going to give a couple member shout-outs. And again, these folks here that I'm going to show you right now were voted on by their peers inside of the Tech Tribe as being super helpful, super go-givers. First one is Jonathan Hartman. Again, voted on for being super supportive. And Jonathan was in there, Jacob Hartman, sorry. Jacob Hartman was in there. He was in there dropping bombs this morning, I saw, just adding value to people's posts, just a tremendous perspective. And I wanted to thank him on behalf of his fellow peers for the support he's offering and the go-giver spirit inside the tribe. Second person, again, voted on by their peers was Felicia King, who again is dropping supreme value inside the tribe. So both Jacob and Felicia, we're going to have Fatima reach out to you because you're going to get a sweet Tech Tribe gift store, merch store gift card. And if you're not familiar with that, the Tech Tribe does have a merch store. So if you go to merch.thetechtribe.com, you can pick up yourself a nice, sweet Tech Tribe gear, kind of like this. So yeah, a lot of people don't even know that's available. Anywho, let's go back over to our slides. So those are my shout outs for the month. Make sure that I covered everything going through my checklist. That I run everything on a checklist. So looks like I've got everything. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip back over. So if you have questions about anything I've covered so far, please ask. But I'm going to go through the questions right now that have come in so far so that I make sure that we get those answered. And then, like I said, I'm also going to show you, we're actually going to build something, those of you who hang out with me as well. I'm going to show you how to build something really cool inside of Growably, and it's super easy, no code required. Let's see here. So again, pop your questions in there. Let me know if you have any additional questions. I've got 3 that I have flagged. Actually, let me go ahead and Dominique, I'm going to show you how to use the website packs, or at least the email templates inside of there as well. Let me scroll back up through, make sure I got all those. But like I said, if you put a Q and the letter Q and a colon, and if you have a question, perfect. So, all right. I get thirsty doing these live streams. So Dominique said, cool, thanks. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to flip screens here. The first one was Powell would ask how to extract data from email campaign and landing page. I'm assuming, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Powell, I'm assuming you're probably talking about like maybe a landing page. So I'm going to go back over here to Growably. And so if you have an email campaign, how to extract data from an email campaign and a landing page. That is generally done with forms, which I showed you, which would be in Sites. And any of the forms that you have on that page would obviously collect the email address, and the email address creates a contact record straight inside of Growably. So I'm assuming that's what you're talking about from a landing page. I can have this form in a landing page, and again, I can collect whatever data that I want. In addition to that, I can also have custom fields, which I'm going to show you. We can create some more custom fields, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so that's how you would get it from an email campaign or a landing page. But again, once they register here, you've got their contact record. I can now add them to email campaigns. I've got unsaved work. So at that point, I can go here and go in and create email campaigns like your newsletter list, things like that. Once they've gone through and submitted that form, they're inside of Growably. So let's see here. Good. We got questions rolling in. So I'm going to go ahead and tag these. And Charles Johnson. Yep. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, awesome. So Powell said he's good with that. So yeah, will allow us to email all contacts at once later on. Yes, once they've gone through and completed that form and their contact record is inside of Growably, then I can, run any campaigns, any automations against those contact records once they're in here. The great thing is, like I said, you can put that form on your current WordPress site and it will actually create the contacts inside of Growably for you. So just, again, keep that in mind. Okay, so that takes care of that question. So the next question here that was asked earlier, is there a way to add the Growably appointment calendar to a slide in the survey so that I can add making an appointment part of the survey process? So, I'm assuming, let me know, no doozy IT, let me know whether you're using a survey inside of Growably or like another survey tool, or like perhaps maybe your PSA tool, I'm assuming. But you could add the appointment calendar to a slide in the survey. Let me put that back up on the screen. Is there a way to add Growably calendar to a slide in the survey so I can add making an appointment part of the survey process? I think you can. So if I go back here again, I'm going to go to Sites and I go up here to Forms. Oh, actually, you're talking the Survey Builder probably. So if I come in here to Survey Builder, all I would need is the link. So all you need to do is copy that link. So go to Integrate Form, and you could copy the form link here. Then we go back to surveys. I haven't built a survey, so let's go ahead and do that. So slide 1. Again, we're just going to drag some form fields on here. Just seeing if there's a spot for you. Yeah, I haven't used the survey, so bear with me here. I'm going to turn on some music too, so we're going to get some tunage here. Let's see here. Yeah, so I would imagine you could do that. I probably would do it, just to let you know. I would probably go to Fields and create a custom field with that survey link in it, because then you can just add that custom field straight in there. Actually, let me go here. So I'll show you how to do that. So go to Settings. This is going to lead into what I'm going to show you next too when we go to build something. We go to Custom Fields. I can add a new field. You can put it in a folder if you want. So if I do Add Field, and see if there is a... I don't see one for a link, but we'll just do single line text. And you can do, the form in there, and then your placeholder could obviously be that link, the link to that Growably form. So then once you have that form field saved, then you can just grab that custom field. It would show up over here, and then you can just grab that custom. Again, you can add a custom field right there too. So I didn't have to go through that whole step. So then just drag and drop that in there. So that would be one way to do that, no doozy IT, to be able to do that fairly quickly. Let's see here. Let me make sure I had in. Let's see here. Yeah, kind of similar to Calendly in Typeform. You might be able to, let's see, there is a field here too for HTML. So if you dumped that in there, you might be able to put that, it might work. I personally would do the form field, or the custom field rather. So hopefully that answers your question, no doozy IT. Again, keep the questions coming. I love it. We kind of light on questions last night. Hopefully that answers your question. If it doesn't, let me know. Let's see, Cam asked a question. Again, I'm going to go back through. We got some more questions coming in. Yeah, Brian said, if someone signs up for a calendar meeting, does it create a new contact? Yes. Because again, it's just like a form field. It dumps them right into high level for you. He said, "Yep, I'll try the HTML and the form field and test." So, yeah, haven't done that one yet. So that is a great question. So, let's see here. Any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna go back through. So that takes care of Brian's question there. Dominique asked a question. She's not able to use the dynamic website packs. Our web host has integrate. Yeah, I get it. So you might not be able to use those to pop into your WordPress site. However, if you go into the marketing site, got unsaved work. If I go into marketing and I go into emails and I go to templates, you will see that your monthly newsletter templates and your nurture emails are all put in Growably for you. So obviously here's February's already. So you could use these, and I did a November's Growably call. I did a full build out as to how to set up an automation and plug all these emails in for you. That way you can at least use the nurture campaign emails that you're getting for free, obviously with Growably, and you can start using those, obviously prior to, being able to not use the WordPress stuff. So yeah, I was wondering if there's an advantage to going to directly to a calendar versus a form. Yeah, they go right in there for a Calendly. If you integrate your Zoom to Brian, it'll send them a Zoom link as well. Let's see here. Dominique also asks, is there a way to change the default columns on the contacts page? That is a great question. So if I'm going to go over here to contacts, and I can go to columns, and you can check or uncheck. I believe the only one that's required that's kind of, grayed out is the name. But you can check or uncheck whatever columns you want to show up inside the contacts fields. So hopefully that helps you, Dominique. But yeah, the only one that's required is name, but you can customize all the rest of these columns. So let me see if we answer that question for her. Yep, Brian said thank you. You are most welcome, my friend. Hopefully, does that answer your question? Let me know as well, Dominique. Let's see here. Firewall Technology Solutions. I'm given to understand that the lead magnet is a big thing in marketing. Yes. Does Growably facilitate this kind of give us your email address to download the ebook process? Yes, it does. And we're going to be building that out. Also, Jeff's got a question related to that. So what that would be, we're going to be doing some templates. We've kind of dropped the ball getting these out for a number of reasons. Some of them I can't go into right now. But you're going to get full campaigns, and Jeff's already kind of alluded to it. Jeff's been with us since the beginning. But inside of automations, you're going to have workflow templates built in that'll pick up that email address. But there's also funnels. So that is done with a funnel where you would have a lead magnet on a page. And again, I'm just going to show you this just kind of as a sample. This is built, if anybody's familiar with ClickFunnels, this is a similar builder that's inside of ClickFunnels. But yes, you would be able to have a page where people could download a free report. I don't have a form set up right now, but a form would be right here. They would fill out the form and able to get the lead magnet, and it would go automatically inside of Growably for you. And then once they've successfully downloaded that, it will also take them to the next page, which would be that landing page. But yes, we've got a lot of plans for that coming up. So yes, that will, all of that ability to have full funnels and automation is built into Growably. So it's kind of like, having Keep Infusionsoft, ClickFunnels melded together. That's what I was using before. So let's see here. Dominique says it defaults back to what you see when the page refreshes. Under the context one. Let me just test that out, Dominique, just to see if I can repeat that action. So I go to columns here and just uncheck a couple. And then do a refresh. I just want to see if mine breaks too. Yep, it puts all those back. The other thing you could do, Dominique, is, I don't have one in here, I only have 2 contacts, is create a smart list. Actually, let's just do this. I want to put Han Solo on a smart list by himself. So first name is Han. So you guys will get a tutorial in the smart list as well. So down here, once I create the filters, I can do save as a smart list. And let's just call this test. And I can hit save. So now up here, you'll see I have all contacts and test. So that might be one way to do that, Dominique. Let's just test our little theory here and see. Let's take out tags and do a page refresh and see if tags come back. Yeah, tags come back. You might want to submit that to high level, but yeah, or obviously I would think that those would all be grayed out if you didn't want to see them, but yeah, it looks like those 6 columns are mandatory in the contacts list. Sorry about that. I hope that was... Yeah, I hope it... Yeah, like the company field to column to always show up. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I never realized that it did that. So sorry we weren't able to get you the outcome that you want. If go to... I think it is. I'm trying to think of the. I'll post the website inside of the Growably platform for you, Dominique, where you can maybe vote on that, because it might be something that's in the works in the roadmap. I can't think of the site off the top of my head. So yeah. So I like having that company field record show up as well. Actually, the company field will show up underneath of the. Like, I don't have a company for Han Solo here, but it will show right underneath of the contact record, if that helps at all, Dominique. You might have seen that. Again, I don't have company names associated to Han Solo and Luke Skywalker in here. Let's see here. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully that answered your question. Sorry we were able to get the answer you're looking for. Firewall Technologies, let me know if that answered your question under lead magnets as well. But yes, you can go in here and create full funnels. You can get started today and create new funnels where you have a landing page. If you already have maybe a PDF or an ebook, you can create the landing pages right here inside of Growably. Somebody fills out that form that you build inside of Growably. They go straight into Growably. You can continue to market to them. But yes, lead magnets. In the 30-day growth map training, I show you how to create lead magnets as well. So if you go to under courses, that was another one we did. I think it was, last year, the 30-day MSP growth map. That is a whole tutorial on what are the best lead magnets, what should you have on the pages, how to find your customers. Again, that's all free training that you have inside of your Tech Tribe membership, all that for $49. So let's see here. So yeah, lead magnets, I presume there's a step-by-step. Yeah, there is a, I'm gonna go back in here so I can show you. Yeah, so if you go into the Growably training and go to, you're gonna wanna look for the funnel training. Yeah, so here's funnels and websites. So if you go inside there, there are all kinds of articles and videos on how to go through and set up the opt-in pages, all that good fun stuff. But yeah, when we release campaigns, anyway, we're going to go through and do a lot of this, a lot more training on that as well. Dominique, I'm with you. If for $49, if I had this when I was running my MSP, like that would be insane. Firewall said perfect. That answers his question. So excellent. So let's see here. Charles Johnson, if you're still on here, he said, can you go over how to do the social media automation? Instagram posts fail for no picture. That is going to be done in marketing and then your social planner. And if you go to CSV, that's automatically put in there every month for you. As you can see here, here's all of the Growably posts for February. And you got 28 posts that are already in there. And then you go to select socials and just, again, select which ones you want. I'm not going to reconnect my LinkedIn account to my test account. But yeah, so basically just pick the ones that you want. It's not going to let me go by further here. And then you process that CSV and it will create all of the posts for you and put them in the planner. So once you import that CSV, you'll see all of those in there. If you're still having a problem with just Instagram, the pictures, let us know. Because I think that would be, if you go to help.thetechtribe.com or either help at thetechtribe.com or help at Growably, that will get you where, if you're having problems with just the links themselves. So, Brian said, don't encourage them to raise the price. So, lots agree with the pricing on that. Yeah, it's just crazy. But that's the easiest way to do that is, like I said, the CSV will be there every month for you. Unfortunately, I can't on this test account show you, but yeah, the February, you got 28 posts. Just import everything with that CSV, make any changes to times and dates that you want, and then everything shows up in the planner, and all your posts will be there. So you'll have the ability to go in and edit those as well. I don't have IG selected on here, so sorry. Charles, let me know if that answers your question too. Yep, he said good, thank you. But yeah, if you're just having a problem with Instagram, it could be just something in, maybe the format of the CSV we might be able to help you with. So let's see here. Yeah, Dominique, so this is another one. You use Publer. I had a graphic for the ones that are flagged as not possible for missing graphic issues. It usually tells me in advance with a question mark or an exclamation point. But yeah, if you're talking just out of Growably, the CSV is there. But if you're importing those with the CSV to another one, be clear on that one too, because again, there's multiple CSV files you guys get with your Action Pack subscriptions. Action Pack, Marketing Pack. I'm still thinking the Microsoft days. Anybody still a Action Pack member? Is that even a thing anymore? Let's see here. Jeff, any update on that sample campaign? I wish I had better news for you, my friend. I have not been able to talk with Nigel since he's on vacation. He was supposed to send you a private message, by the way. So you might want to go look in your spam folder, maybe. But yes, he wanted me to apologize as well. We have a campaign that we were looking to load and get ready. Nigel, being the perfectionist that he is, wanted to hold off on a couple things with it till we revise a few things. So that was the last status I had from him in December prior to him going on vacation. So hopefully if I get you an update, I will get that as soon as possible, Jeff. But that is, like I said, that is just one of many updates that I'm chomping at the bit to get out. So Firewell said, love the CSV import, saves me hours. Yes, it does. Quest Internet, yes. So I guess Action Pack still a thing. Brian is as well. And then the last one, the question that I see here is, where can I find the social media posts in Growably? I'm currently copying and pasting from the PDF. So yeah, that's where you would go to marketing. Come on, page refresh. Yeah, so you go to marketing and that CSV file, those are automatically in there for you. So go to CSV and there's all of your CSV imports for Growably. But if you want ones, so he's the social media post in Growably. So if you're using a different one, actually, let's go over here. If you happen to be using a different besides Growably and you weren't aware of it as well, if you go to marketing packs, you guys get emails about this every month that these are launched. Like the February marketing pack, if I go inside here, I forget how many CSV files we actually have. Yeah, so here's your social media post. There's CSV file for Growably if you want to do it manually. You've got Hootsuite, HubSpot, Buffer, Publer, and Zoho. So you've got CSV imports for all of those. And again, that's all included and free inside your $49 membership, which is insane. Let's see here. Your deadbeat mom. Side note, what is the screen sharing tool for the webinar you are using? This is all done with Ecamm Live. So I do everything with Ecamm Live, all of these broadcasts, all my live streams, all my recordings, all the courses that I create are all done in Ecamm Live. If you want to talk about Ecamm Live, we could geek out in a separate session. I'm actually going to be live on my personal YouTube channel this afternoon. So if we can geek out more, I'm going to be live again at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Let's see here. Brad said, yes, this is Brad from the Tech Tribe. So thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. He wasn't able to join last night's call, but he hopped on here. So awesome timing, Brad, because we've gotten a lot of questions today, which is awesome. But I definitely did record a lengthy one last night for you if you want to go back and watch that as well. But what I will do, since you are here, Brad, we will honor your presence with helping you create this live. For those of you who want to hang out, like I said, I know it's 1:08, so thank you for hanging out. But Brad, if you want to hang out, I can walk through. If you guys want to hang out and actually see me create something inside of Growably, I'm more than happy to. So those of you who are going to hang out, give me a thumbs up. If you're going to jet for the day, like I said, I want to be sure of and cognizant of people's times. Give me a hand wave. But thanks for jumping on live. Those of you who have been here for an hour and 8 minutes already. Firewell says he is staying. Brad said he will stay, which is awesome. Yeah, we'll just keep, like I said, we'll just keep firing. I'll keep taking drinks. So if you're going to stay on, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a wave goodbye. But I appreciate you being on here live. And if there's things you want us to cover in future trainings, let me know either here in the comments or over in the tribal forums as well. I want to make sure that, we get your questions answered. We get the training that you want and need. So good. Lots of folks staying. Quest Internet staying. Brian staying. Crusoe Tech staying. So good. We got a half dozen. They're going to hang out with us for a little bit longer. So good. I'm going to take a quick drink here, gentlemen and ladies who are hanging on. Dominique's going to stay on, but she couldn't find the thumbs up. So that's cool. That's cool, Dominique. We'll take that as a thumbs up. You're going to hang out with us too. No doozy staying with us too. So just to let you know, Dominique, it's great that you're staying too, because you're coming over from Infusionsoft land, and Brad is also coming over from Infusionsoft. So his question was actually specific to Infusionsoft and kind of building things out to mimic what he was using in Infusionsoft inside of Growably. So awesome. Good. We got lots of people staying. So let's just rock on, folks. All right. So Brad's question was, he said, we're coming from Keep Infusionsoft and we create a task to call a contact. We have the ability to create call outcomes, which will trigger additional automations with the campaign. Does Growably have anything similar that we can implement, or a way to create workflow to achieve the same? So that's an awesome question. And again, these are the types of questions that I love, because I love going through this stuff. I geek out on how to build all this stuff out. So yeah, Brian says, yep, I have the same question about Infusionsoft. I need to replicate exactly what I have. So again, we'll go as closely as we can as we build this out. All right, so what I'm going to do is go full screen so that you guys and gals hanging out with me can actually see. Brad did give me a couple examples of what he's looking for. Hopefully you had a great time with the grandkids last night as well, Brad. Let's see here. Yeah, so yeah, I could create left a voicemail, which creates a task to call back, or a prospect didn't receive package, which creates a task to send package. So, all right, perfect. So, yep, Dominique said, yep, she's having trouble with automations. They haven't keep converting them over to Growably. So good. You did have fun with the grandkids. Awesome. Okay, so hopefully this can kind of answer some of your questions as well, Dominique, as we go through and build this out. So now I'm going to take another drink here as we get rolling. I'm going to go full screen so that I can show you how to go about building this out inside of Growably. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is I'm going to go back to the dashboard. So this is where you would be when you log in. The first thing to accomplish that is I need to come down in here to settings, and we're going to create some custom fields first, because we're going to need those custom fields to build out when we do the actual workflow build. So I'm going to come up here to custom fields. I don't know whether, I think Infusionsoft only, they limited you to like 100 custom fields, I think. I don't know whether that's changed. I moved off like a year and a half ago. Anyway, you can create as many as you want in here, which is awesome. But if you are like me, I am a folder nerd. So I create folders. So the first thing that I would do is come up here to add folder. And you can call this whatever you want. I'm just going to call this, for the sake of what we're doing here, campaign activity. And I'll show you where this is going to show up inside the contact record. So inside of campaign activity, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a few fields that we're going to need to be able to do what you guys are looking to do with drop-down menus and checkboxes and that kind of stuff. So now that I've added the folder, now I need to go ahead and add a field. So I'm going to go ahead and add a field. And the first field that I am going to create is a simple drop-down, or single drop-down. You can have a multiple drop-down, which allows you to select multiples, but I'm going to do this so I can select that drop-down. And this one I am going to, I'm going to label this field call outcome. So kind of exactly what you're looking for, Brad, is when I make a call, having the call outcome. And now I'm going to go ahead and make my choices. And again, you can make these whatever you'd like, but I'm just going to give you a few as examples. So I'm going to type this one, called, and no answer. And again, if you have others that you want me to add to this just for demonstration, let me know. So that's the first one, called, no answer. Second one, maybe called, left a voicemail. And then I'm going to add another option here, called, and maybe, and again, you can make these as short as you want. Prospect reached and not interested. And again, you can do whatever you want with these. What I'm going to do is go back up here because I'm going to use this a couple times. I'm just going to copy this, paste it down here, and do, again, save myself some typing. This one may be not a fit. So if I go through a right fit call and after talking to them, I realize they're not a fit, I can select that. I'm going to go in here, call prospect reached, and maybe this one I'm going to do, let's see here. This one, maybe I'm going to do discovery call booked. And again, because you can do so many things. I'm going to blow your mind here in a minute. So yeah, Dominique, that's a good one. See what it called. So called prospect reached. Obviously, we talked to somebody and they requested to be removed from list. Perfect. Remove from list. So that'll give you kind of a selection. Go as crazy as you want, however many elements you want in there. So I'm going to stop right there. But Brad, if there's any you want me to add in here just for sake of demo, let me know. And those of you who are also watching this as well. So there's my call outcome drop down. So that would be the first one that I would want. So let's see here. And then I'm going to create a second one just to kind of show you, Brad, as well. The send welcome kit. I'm assuming you're talking like a shock and awe box from Big Red or, whatever you guys are calling it for welcome kit. You can create that in a separate folder if you wanted to, but this one, again, the campaign activity, I'm just going to keep it here. And then I'm going to make a simple checkbox. And I'm just going to call this one, send welcome kit. And, call it whatever you want. Just yes, just a simple checkbox where I can have yes or no, or just yes. So there's will be two things that you can have in there. And again, I'm just going to show you these two, but you can feel free to go nuts on those. But just to cover the ones you had put as examples, Brad, we'll use those for now. So now that I have the custom fields under campaign activity, now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to show you where those are going to show up in the contact record. So if I go in Han Solo's contact record, I'm going to go into collapse this menu. You'll see I now have a campaign activity drop-down menu. That's why I create folders, because everything stays nested. So now there's my drop-down menu with all of those selections that I had in there. And again, you can customize and edit this to your heart's content. Go as short or as long as you want. And then there's my checkbox for send welcome kit. Yep, so Brad said we're good so far. All right, awesome. So now that we've got the custom fields created, now we're going to go in and create a automation, a workflow to be able to use these. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come into automations. And same thing, if you'll see here, I like to create folders. So what I'm going to do is same thing. Again, name it however you want. Campaign activities. We'll just call that campaign activity. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go ahead and create a new workflow. So if I come in here to new workflow, I can import one, but we're going to go ahead and start from scratch and then go to create new workflow. First thing I need to do is come up here and give it a name, and we're just going to call this call outcome workflow. Again, call it whatever you like. One of the things you will need first off the bat is to go into settings and allow multiple, because sometimes you may have a contact that can come through this cycle multiple times because you may have multiple phone call sequences. So we want to make sure that that is checked so that they can come through this workflow as needed. So that is workflow. So we give it a name. Went into settings, did allow multiple. So now what we're going to do, if you guys are familiar, if you're like me, I do tags. I'm a big tag fan coming over from Infusionsoft land. I don't know whether you folks are doing that. I still have tags. I imported all my tags from Infusionsoft into Growably. So I do everything is triggered from tags. That's just me. But you can do that multiple ways. I can have it trigger on a tag. So I can have a contact tag and select which one is a tag is added, and then select whatever. Again, I've only got one in here. So got tag added, and then I can save that trigger. So when the contact tag is added, then it will trigger this. Or if I wanted to, let's close this one. I could also just add people straight out of the contact list. So if I check here, I could use this add to campaign workflow and drop them into a campaign that way. I like tags. That's just me. Yeah, so Dominique said yeah, so I think you're a tag fan as well. Okay, so we're used to that in the Infusionsoft. Tags trigger things. Okay, so a contact tag is added. Then if you wanted to add a wait sequence, so if you wanted to wait a day, you could add a wait sequence in there, number of minutes, days, hours, whatever you want to put in there. Again, you can put the wait trigger in there if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and create a straight up task here. So I'm going to put add task, and we'll call this one phone call. And let's call this one call. And what's great here is you have your custom values. So I can do first name, last name. So it's just call contact name. So that's going to get both first and last name. So I'm going to copy that, put that in the description. And again, you can use as many custom fields as you want. It will also allow you to do custom values inside of the description as well, similar to what we would do in Infusionsoft. Then we would assign it to someone. So you can assign it to whoever it needs to go to. So we'll just do contacts assigned user, and then you put when it's due. So I'm just going to fire this as soon as they're put in the campaign. Go ahead and hit save action. So the first step is going to be phone call. One of the things I also do, I'm trying to think of what I used inside of Infusionsoft, but I have it so that it automatically will create a notes record for me as well. That way I can type the notes of my call inside the contact record. And again, you guys can skip this step if you want. And I'm just going to call this one call notes. And again, call notes. We'll just see call notes for, and again, I can use my custom values, full name. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit save action down here. So when that's triggered, it's going to create a task to make a phone call, and it's also going to create a notes record where I can put my notes in there. Anything else that you guys do with that, or you want me to show you how to include, just let me know. Again, I'm just kind of spitballing based upon how I would do it coming over from Infusionsoft. Let's see here. So now, once I have those tasks created, now this is where I'm going to build in my call outcomes. I'm going to go ahead and up here and save this real quick. So now we're going to get into what happens at that call notes, at when that phone call is made, and then we do a call outcome. So now I am going to come in here, and I am going to go to if else. So I'm going to click this. This is kind of like, oh man, what was that called in Infusionsoft? They call it branches inside of Growably, and I can't for the life of me think of what that was. It's basically how you filter before they go to the next sequence. And then it's left me what Infusionsoft calls that. So this one, we'll just put left voicemail. Decision tree. Yep, it's some yeah. So this is essentially a decision tree. So Brad put that. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to create a branch or a decision tree, and it's going to be based upon the contact details. And then I'm going to scroll down here, and then there's my custom fields, call outcome. And the call outcome is, and again, you can see what you can select. It is or is not. It's empty. So now I can come in here and we'll see left a voicemail. So this branch is going to be call outcome is called left a voicemail. I'm just going to click save real quick so I can show you what that looks like. So now you can see it kind of splits off here. So just for the left voicemail. So now I'm going to come back in here and add some more. I'm going to add another branch. Same thing. I'm going to put, what were our other choices here? No answer. So again, select contact details. Scroll down to call outcome. You could just start typing it too here and it'll find it. So there's call outcome is no answer. And like I said, I'm just going to save so that way you can see it's creating multiple branches. So what I'm going to do is just come in here and create all of the ones. Unfortunately, we can't speed this up. It's the power of real time. So this one we want not interested. Same thing, contact details. Call outcome is not interested. And I'm just going to keep going for all of these branches that I have. So this one is not a fit. Contact details. Call outcome is not a fit. And like I said, you could get super crazy if you want on these. And this one is discovery call booked. Contact details. Call outcome is, and again, you could have a separate workflow for this. I generally did if they booked a discovery call, and you can have it go to a completely different place. Mark, to answer your question, yes, this live call will be available as soon as we go off the air. It will be available for replay, even the one I did last night as well. So I went through this same build last night as well. But great question. So, okay, we're going to keep building our branches here. Our tree is going to get pretty big here. Let's see, discovery call. Got my list here. What was the other one? Take off list. Again, call details. Call outcome is remove from list. So now if I so now you can see how it branches off and it can go completely different places. So now what you can do, I think you had, let me go back to your original question, Brad. Yeah, it creates a task to call back in X number of days if you left a voicemail. So now I'm going to show you how to build that one out. So if you left a voicemail, you want it to kind of do this same thing as it has up here, which is awesome. So now I would go in here, we're going to create a wait step first. So now I can do wait, and I'm going to just call this wait 2 days, or how, and again, you call it whatever you want. So 2 and 2 days, and you can do advanced window. I think you could block out, obviously just Monday through Friday. So you can see, wait times, it's so customizable. So now if I left a voicemail, I'm going to wait 2 days. And then essentially we're going to kind of trigger this same stuff up here, the phone call. And I'm going to show you what's really, really cool from here is if I click those little 3 dot menu from there, I can come down here and I can click copy, and I can copy the action. And you'll notice I can copy it and put it wherever I want. So I'm going to go ahead and copy to here. So now it's going to wait 2 days, and then it's going to put in that task for a phone call. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with the call notes. So now you see what happens so far is is this what you were looking for, Brad? So that kind of creates that workflow. Because what I'm going to do is we're going to drop Han Solo in here so I can actually show you what this would look like inside the contact record. All right, perfect. Yeah, Brad said that's exactly what he's looking for. Awesome. So yeah, with remove from list, we can have it update the workflow. Okay, so let's go to that and let's see, take off list. And I think there is an action for, yep, right there. So I just started typing D&D. So set contact D&D. and then you can select which one you want. Disable for all channels, disable for a specific channel. So you see how you can enable and disable that based upon. So we're just going to go ahead and disable for certain channels, and we're going to say disable for email. So now, okay, if they do that, if they tell me, hey, take me off your list, it can automatically put them on that and take them off that list for you. So hopefully that answers your question there, Dominique. So cool. Awesome. So good. So like I said, the power of what you can do here is that we can get super, super creative with we do that. So Firewell says, could you just have the left voicemail tree re-trigger the beginning of the workflow? You could. I mean, you could basically have it to go restart over if you wanted to. Totally up to you. I just try to keep things cleaner so that I know what my workflow is. So if I've left a voicemail, it's kind of for history for me. I like seeing what stages they go through so that I can see where people have been. If it just restarts from the beginning, it kind of really doesn't help fill this out for me. And it's just my super nerdery with that one, Firewell. But yes, you could just have it re-trigger. So even after this one right here, if you left a voicemail, didn't get an answer, again, you can have it re-trigger, go back up here and start all over again. So again, however creative you want to get with that. And again, each one of these branches can do completely different things, which is awesome. So, like here, the discovery call booked, you can have it do, stuff with appointments. You can have it create opportunities. You'll see all the different triggers that you can have. Obviously, if they booked a discovery call for this one, I might want to remove them from that workflow. That's, again, basically what we're looking for there. So there's that. So hopefully that answers those questions so far. So what I'm going to do is save this. So you want to make sure that you save it and then publish it, just like we did over in Infusionsoft land. Make sure you save it and it's live so that we can trigger these things off. Dominique said, my challenge is triggering an automation from a form. Do you mean like, I know Infusionsoft had the internal forms. There really isn't that kind of functionality inside of Growably. But I'm trying to think if somebody filled out a specific form, Dominique, you could have the form fire a tag or add a tag to them, which would kick this workflow off. Just something to think about. Like this particular tag, you can have a form that adds that tag there. So perfect. Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, you can kind of make your own internal forms in a way, in a roundabout way in that form section. And you can have it as if somebody fills that form out, it automatically adds tags. And then it can kick off automation. I have that for my appointments. If people book a certain type of appointment, I have tags and automation that will kick off and do certain things inside, high level for me. So, okay, good. Yeah, form submitted, assign tag. Yeah, so that's for me, that's the cleanest way to do it. Just that way I can track it. Because I do tags like start. I know when a start tag kicks off, where I know an automation started, where it ended. I was pretty super granular with some of my tags in Infusionsoft. So now what I want to do is go over and show you how this would work in real life. So if I go in there, Han Solo, and again, I can hit that checkbox and either dump him right in there, or I can go in here and I can add a tag to Han Solo. Looks like he's already got that tag over there. This might not work. So the action in here is just so when you're kicking off the manual actions, this is just for the audit logs. You can call this, just manually assigned. That way you can see who did it and when and, why you put them there. If we're going to kick that off. And again, this is if we're not going to use a form. So, let's see here. So now if I go into Han Solo's record, see if it went ahead and created those things for us. It may not have because he's already has that tag. So let me... Actually, let me see what did trigger. So I'm going to go into the history. Yeah, so it didn't fire. So let's go ahead and fire this manually. All right, so I'm going to add a tag from here. Let me make sure I got the... Yeah, I think I've only got one tag in here, so it automatically should save. I'm going to call back in here to the workflow. Yeah, so now if you go to history, this shows you where everything took place. So he's added to the workflow, it executed. So this is kind of what I want. This is why I like having the trees go different places. Yeah. So he went all the way through that workflow already. So it went ahead and triggered that. So now if I go back into Han Solo and let's just do a quick refresh. And now if I go into task, there's my task to call Han Solo. And then if I go to notes, there it's automatically made that note. And I just go to the little edit. So once I've called him, here's where all my notes would be. So then you just hit save. So it kind of saved me that step of having to create it in the first place. So I can tick that box off. One of the things that I would add in this would be a separate task. You see here if I forgot. Yeah. I'm going to create a separate task because one of the things that I like to do just as a reminder, especially if you have other people making phone calls for you. So if I come in here, I'm going to add another task. Again, so you can track. So I want to update call notes. Yeah, for salespeople, again, this is just to make sure that they actually update the call notes and they don't just check that box that they made the call. So now when I save that, so what would happen is I would have another task in here telling me, okay, one is to call Han Solo. The second one would be to update the notes and then come over here and update the campaign activity, that call outcome. Let me know if that makes sense, and that's kind of what you were looking for on that, Brad, hopefully, and even Dominique. So let's see here. Does anyone know of a place to get some of the processes, i.e. sample workflows that are known to work, something we don't have to start from scratch? There's a bunch out there, to answer your question, Brian. And that's kind of, the way that High Level is built, because it's built for so many different platforms. There really isn't, in Growably anyway, there really isn't those things built in there because not everybody's doing what Brad is doing, which is making the phone calls. Some people are just doing, the email campaigns. But yeah, so essentially, Brad, to answer your question too there, what I would do for like this one, the send welcome kit, I'm going to go back in here and just show you. Let me know if you want me to go a little deeper in here or whether or not that makes sense to you as to how to go about building that part out, Brad. Because I can show you, you would essentially do the similar thing, for the send welcome kit. What was the your original question? A task to send a package. A prospect didn't receive a package. Something creates a task to send package. For me, that would be just a simple secondary workflow. So we'll just create that. All right, yeah, Brad said he's good there. So essentially, that's what I would do, is just create another one for the send package, and just call this one the same thing, send welcome kit. And again, I would have a tag for it, or just some way of doing that. And you could put it in the other one, the other workflow. But yeah, essentially it'll be the same thing. You're just going to do an if else, and then have the branch be here, send package. And then I would go to contact values and find my little send. Passed it up, I think. What do we call that? Yep, send welcome kit. There it is. A send welcome kit is includes a yes. So you kind of see how that is, go through there. You would just, if that checkbox is checked, then you can have it do certain things. Then you can create a task to have somebody send that out. What's really cool too is you have the ability to do webhooks. So if you have like somebody that sends out like a welcome package for you, you can actually automate this, go through Zapier or like thanks.io will send letters for you. I know there's lots of folks who do some, automation of letters and postcards. So you can actually do that same thing by checking that. It will automatically send that out and post a webhook over there. Let's see here. So Brad said, if I did notice on the history that if else failed, will the workflow automatically continue when the if else is satisfied? So let me just save this real quick. Here. Go back in there. So essentially what I would do with that other workflow, Brad, is just to determine where you want that to go. Let's go into history. So basically it ends the campaign because it took it through that if else branch, the takeoff list. Sorry, wrong one. But yeah, so basically it sent it through there and it went through that -1. And again, you can have it so it forces it down certain paths. And then who asked it whether or not to repeat, you can have it repeat as well. But basically, yeah, they're going to be adding goals, which I've been pushing for, which I really liked with Infusionsoft. So essentially, like, you had the ability to say, what that flag, what the end goal was, whether it was tag created or something. They're kind of limited at this point on, let me just do a plus here, and I think it was at the end. Yeah, the goal events. The goal events right now are only if they received an email or clicked a trigger link. So those are the only two that will kind of, edit the workflow. But they're going to be adding more in there to the goal type. Like for me, again, I'm a tag nerd. So for me, if a tag is accomplished, then it will automatically pull them out of the workflow and end that workflow. Yeah, so there's multiple things coming up, but yeah, that's essentially, it will go through that workflow until some type of goal is reached. But for here, for like call outcome, that's where I would have it just start over again. You could put in a, I think what it is, I think it's go to. Yeah, if you do a go to action, you'll see how down here, I can have it go to certain parts. So I'm going to have it go straight back there. So it can get kind of a little, I don't like that one because it's messy and I'm just kind of a nerd, but when it reaches certain points, you can have it go straight back to the beginning, or that's what I said. It was great with the branches. You can have it go to a completely different point in a different branch. So yeah, just the level of customization is a little bit better than what Infusionsoft was, but let me know if that answered your question, Brad. But yeah, the goals one, that to me, I've been pushing them for. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out what to use in place of goals. Yeah, for me, that was tag. I use tags that, especially if somebody purchased something, if the whole thing was to get them to book an appointment or purchased, then it would go ahead and pull them out of that workflow. It would bypass any of the other steps I had in there. So, Brad said, yep, he's good. Thanks. You are more than welcome, my friend. Anybody else have any questions? Jennifer, thank you for hanging out with us. Like I said, we went a little nerdy on this one, but I think it was a great question, Brad. I really haven't found too many things that I can't replicate inside of Growably that I didn't have in Infusionsoft. They're just called different things inside of high level. But yeah, I found this when I was checking out Active Campaign as well. So, all right, anybody, I'm going to go make sure I got all of the questions. Again, we want, hour and 45 minutes on this one. Love it. I loved all the questions today. But yeah, let me know if you folks have any other questions before I jet for the day. Again, I've got another live stream we're doing in hour and 15 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to hang out a couple more minutes just to see if there's any other questions. But thank you, Dominique, Brad, Jennifer, Brian, Mark, Firewall Technologies. Yeah, again, for hanging out overtime. We went into overtime on this one. No Doozy IT said he's good. Dominique, you are more than welcome. Firewall says yes. Thank you so much. I have a quick question, real quick. Go right ahead. Ask. Fire away. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you asking the great question. Brian, thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to help save some time here. You are welcome, Quest Internet. But yeah, Firewell, if you've got a question, fire away. I'm happy to answer one more question to go. And those of you who are still on the call, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Please. That is actually a good one. Integrating the Outlook calendar and Growably seems like there are extra steps involved. Which that is a great question. There are a couple extra steps, but it's not super hard, I promise. So what you'll want to do is go into settings once you've connected your calendar in your personal profile. Actually, that's calendar. So go to profile, and you come down here and connect your Outlook calendar that way. And then when you come into calendars, like this particular one, I'm going to come into those little three dots, and I want this to be the kind of the default calendar, like Testy McTest calendar. And there's where I would link to my calendar. So obviously I don't have one in there. So this is where you would find your Outlook calendar would be in here. And then you can tell it, do a two-way sync, a one-way sync, or disable the trigger. So that's the only extra step that you would need there with connecting your Outlook calendar. And it'll be the same with Gmail. If you have a Gmail calendar, that would work. Yeah, so got the personal calendar done. So yeah, so in order to do that, you create one inside the business services calendars. You'll create a new calendar. He said that, yeah, the Outlook calendar does not appear in the drop down. So I don't have this one connected to my Outlook. I wish to be able to show you. Link to let's see here. It says link to calendar equals none and Google, but no Outlook. So just give me 1 second. Getting an error when I do the two-way sync. So yeah, if you're getting an error, no doozy IT, go ahead and check on that little question mark icon and put in a ticket for that one. Unfortunately, I can't troubleshoot that one. Folks at high level will have to do it. Let me just go, give me a second there, Firewall Technologies. He's getting the Google one, but not the Outlook. I'm going to switch over to my personal high level. I'm going to see where that's at because I have my Outlook connected to that one. So just so I don't tell you wrong here. Let's see here. Oh, I think I know where it's at. Gotcha. I told you wrong here. So it's in my staff. Let's go edit. And then the calendar configuration is in here. Yeah, so there's nothing in there. So let me go back over here. Edit. Yeah, so it should be in there. Let me take a quick screenshot for you of, yeah, because I see that in there. So let me just backtrack so I can show you that again. Yeah, so you go into settings, business services, my staff, and then just pick yourself out of that list. And then when you hit edit, and then it's under user calendar configuration. And obviously, since I don't have anything hooked up there, so that's where you would do, like right now, I've got my Google Calendar and Outlook configured. Just do a quick screenshot so I can show you what that probably will look like on your side. All right. Yeah, so this is what it looks like for me under mine. So you would connect it to those primary and which one to check for conflicts. Yeah, so again, that would be under my staff. I knew that it was in a weird place. So good. Okay, so let's see here. In the training, there's a video that references having to fill out a form in order to get access to integrate the Outlook calendar, but that was a beta thing and posted several months ago. Yeah, that should be available now. The two-way email sync went live last Friday, but there were a few people who had issues with that. That's under profile. Again, you can do that here, connecting your Outlook calendar and then two-way sync for your Outlook email. But both of those are out of beta. So those are live and working. So hopefully that answers your question. Anybody else have questions? We're still hanging out, man. We're going to go. You guys are bound and determined to take it to 2 hours. But no, he wants to make sure that we provide maximum value to you folks on these calls for the time that you spend, because we want to make sure that you're able to use the tools and to have it create business for you and create systems and process. That's all of what I'm all about. So yeah, just give me a thumbs up and see if there's any other questions over in the chat. If there's anything else I can go back and show you, I'd be happy to. But yeah, I'll just hang out for another minute or so. Got our super chill tribal music. Dominique's just making sure she don't miss anything, so... but yeah, if there's future things you guys want me to cover on these Growably calls, usually we have these on second week of the month. I do them on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then follow up on the next Thursday, the next day, at 12 p.m. Eastern. So we try to do 2 calls a month to make sure that we get everybody around the globe covered. But yeah, I don't see any more questions coming in. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you inside the tribe and the privilege we have to serve you great folks who are serving small businesses in many less seen roles and less appreciated roles that is IT services. But we appreciate having you in the tribe, being part of it. Yeah, Firewall Technology says, yep, that'll help him get started. You are most welcome, my friend. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your Thursday, the rest of your week. And if I don't see you on the next Growably call, I will see you inside the tribal forums. Thank you again. You folks all have a great day. Oh, Jeff, you're still hanging out with me. Rock on, my friend. You guys and gals are all awesome in my book. I appreciate it. And like I said, if there's anything I can do, please tag me inside the tribal forums, answer any questions for you. Be sure to jump into that LinkedIn challenge. Get started. Go through the training. I promise you, you will thank me by the end of the year. If not sooner. Business will come from getting out there. So Jeff got pulled away for a bit. He's going to catch up. So thank you, Jeff, for being a rock solid supporter of the Growably calls. We got so much coming for 2023. As soon as Nigel gets back, I am going to wear him out like no rented mule. Think rented mule. So anyway, you folks take care. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon.